first thing that is 100% noticeable is the turbo. You can hear that baby spool up. It sounds glorious. Welcome back, I'm Alex. We're at my good friend's shop once again with his beautiful looking 5th gen Ram 2500 with the 6.7 liter Cummins. Last time we installed the Banks Monster Ram air intake, which completely eliminates the factory grid heater bolt possibly rotting off and taking out this engine. It also greatly increases the airflow and thus performance. And well, Christmas came a little bit early because, wouldn't you know, Banks sent us some more performance parts and upgrades for the 6.7 liter Cummins. Today we're installing Banks Ram Air cold air intake as well as our upgraded turbo boost pipes. And with this setup, we're going to increase our airflow dramatically into this engine. In fact, this aftermarket air intake setup is the highest flowing setup there is on the market. And with that, we're going to gain some throttle response, potentially some fuel economy increase, and potentially some power increases. First, what we're going to do is we're going to remove this factory air filter box as well as air filter. And I'm going to show you potentially why this factory unit here is going to be limiting some performance out of this engine, especially when we directly compare it to the Banks Ram air intake. We got the factory air box and air filter out of here. Our Holstead turbo looking nice right there. And there's a couple things I want to talk about. So first of all, this is our stock air box here. This is injection molded plastic. And so what Ram has done in order to strengthen it is we have this meshing or boxing going on. And while it's not going to be very advantageous for our airflow as you could imagine. Secondly, what's going on, and I didn't actually know this. So in this, this pipe that goes to our turbo, we actually have a resonator in here, and that's to quiet down the turbo noise, but it's also going to impact our airflow. Let me see if I can get you a better look in here. So you guys can see there, you got kind of 4 fins there with holes. That is a resonator. It's going to help dampen sound, but it's also going to impact our airflow pretty significantly. Thirdly, I think it was time for an air filter change on this truck anyways, but this is a stock paper pleated filter. Nothing wrong with these. They work very well, but what can happen is if they get wet with lots of rain or heavy snow, specifically up here in Canada, you can start to see that the dirt and debris kind of makes this putty sort of film, and it can really impact your airflow. Whereas with our new Banks Ram air intake, you can see they've used higher quality plastics. They don't need reinforcing, so it makes it a lot smoother in here. Air is going to be able to come in and flow a lot easier. So upgrading this Banks Ram air cold air intake should have a pretty decent impact on increased airflow. Also, I'm very excited to see how this thing sounds now that we're getting rid of that resonator right there. Just before we put our Banks cold air intake on, I've removed our turbo pipes. And so this is our hot side here. This is the original Mopar pipe. This is the Banks upgraded turbo piping. You can see it's quite a bit larger. I believe they say it's about 68% more volume or airflow can flow through this hot side. And when we say hot side, I mean we're going from the turbo, the charged air right from the turbo into our intercooler. So this is hot air, and our cold air side is over here because our charged air has gone through our intercooler. It's now cooled and it's about to enter our engine. So on our cold air side, Mopar actually supplies a plastic pipe, which is fine. I've seen it before. This is the new Banks pipe. Again, quite a bit larger. It's actually metal. So we should be able to flow, again, a lot more air into our engine and ideally make more power. All right, we got our new turbo boost tubes in both sides, our hot side and our cold side. Not gonna lie, a little bit of a pain to get everything sort of fitted and jammed in there, but we got her. Next up, we're gonna put this box in here, get our filter in there, and fire this baby up. Well, we got everything installed. Looks pretty good. We fired the truck up earlier. Sounds pretty good as well. I'm gonna just finish up here, tinkering, put the tools away, and then we're gonna get this thing out on the road and see if I notice any power differences, any better throttle response, and maybe we can hear the turbo just a little bit better, which would be kind of cool to see. We got her on the road. First thing that is 100% noticeable is the turbo. You can hear that baby spool up. It sounds glorious. It's not too loud, but it's just a perfect whistle. Let's see if you guys can hear it. Listening to what you guys are gonna hear, you can't really hear the turbo, unfortunately. Just the cameras didn't pick it up, but I promise you it sounded really good. And it does feel a little bit quicker. At least the throttle response is much better than what it was before. I didn't think there'd be this much of a difference in terms of like the feel of power, but I think it's pretty noticeable, to be honest. And I love the way the turbo sounds. It's just a perfect little whistle to let you know that you're driving a turbo diesel, baby. Definitely better. That turbo whine is perfection. I love that. Wow. And one thing I do have to mention is that if you do really want to get as much power out of these components that we've put on this truck, you're probably going to want a tune. At least that's what Banks has told me. And a tune can really take advantage of that added airflow. With a stock tune, you're not necessarily going to see crazy power figure changes, at least on a dyno. To me, on the road, it feels like we have a little bit more oomph behind it, but that could just be better throttle response. The turbo's spooling up quicker, giving us the power quicker. We may not actually be building more power, if that makes sense to you guys. But to me, just the noise of that turbo, I don't know. I'm a little kid at heart. I like a good, loud sounding truck, and with the turbo diesel, and you can hear that whistle, there's something just magical about it. And it's the perfect sound. It's not overpowering, but it lets you know there's a turbo spooling up under the hood. Well, I'm very happy how Banks' ram air, cold air intake turned out on this truck. I love the turbo sound on this thing, and well, as well as the upgraded turbo pipes and the monster ram air intake, giving this thing an incredible nice amount of airflow into this engine. So if my friend eventually does put a tuner on it, he is going to be able to make a ton of power with this thing completely opened up. So if you're looking to make some nice upgrades to your 6.7 liter Cummins, head over to Banks. They got some good stuff over there. If you did like the video, don't forget to leave that thumbs up. And if you like cool stuff like this, do not forget to subscribe. I like doing build stuff on this channel, and I'd like to do more of it. So let me know what you guys think about this kind of stuff. Anyways, enough of me. We'll see you on the next freaking video.